All right, last week I had great success targeting redfish out of Shell Beach. Today I'm fishing out of Hopedale. Let's see if the same thing's going on here. Come along with me, let's find out together. All right, as you can tell, it's super slick. I mean, there's no wind, scorching hot. Water temp is 87.9, cooler than it's been in all honesty. Still pretty warm though. Still, that shouldn't have much impact on these reds. The tide is trickling, but I can't tell if it's rising or falling. I don't know which direction means what here. I'm hoping it has begun to fall. Definitely later falling tide today, but I am fishing in the afternoon to take advantage of that falling tide. I'd prefer to be fishing the back half of that falling tide, but I'll be in my bed when that happens. Oh, and by the way, I'm starting with a bait that I used to fish all the time, an Echo 1.75 Bill Lewis bait. I've kind of converted over to that SB57, but this is a much better bait for this shallow water that I'm fishing. Water's 2.4 feet right here. That SB57, I dive about 5 feet or so. I can keep my rod up to kind of keep it from diving too much, but I don't have to fight it with this bait. And redfish absolutely love this thing, so does speckled trout. Fishing on a sheet of glass, couldn't be calmer. I'd probably prefer a little bit of wind, but with this calm, I could definitely see a red pushing. Water's about a 5 out of 10, so I wouldn't expect to be able to see a red in this. Plus, it's kind of a little bit cloudy. All right, moved on to spot number 2. Spot number 1 was a dud, and on the way over here, I discovered what the tide's doing, and the answer to that question is absolutely nothing. So obviously, what we found back there was the end of the rise. So it's doing nothing now. It's gonna switch, and then it's gonna start to fall, which is good. So we got that dead tide working against us between now and when it starts falling. But we got in our favor is the water clarity here. It's definitely a lot better, much prettier water. Plus, we currently have a cloud over the sun, which is really nice because it was super hot. Way too hot for mid-September. I cannot wait for fall weather and fall fishing. This summer has to end eventually. Oh, there's a fish. What is that? It's not big. I know that. Maybe a little red. Caught a million of these the other day. Oh no, a speckled trout. Look at that, there we go. All right. Man, that's great to see. That's a keeper trout. It's a long, skinny fish, about 14 inches or so. I am wanting to keep a few fish today, so I think I'm gonna throw him in the box here. As I mentioned, speckled trout also love this bait. Today's September 11th. It's that time of year when trout are moving in. Still definitely some trout outside, no question. So they're kind of really scattered this time of year. But this is when you start running into them. He was at that Trenas mouth, kind of more of a redfish type hangout. I don't know if you can see it on camera. There's a storm right there. I was hoping it'd be moving away from me, but it's looking like it's moving right toward me. That kind of sucks. That really sucks. We're gonna be getting rained on in a minute. No storms anywhere else on the horizon in any direction. Okay, we got a Trenas coming up. A redfish keeps poking its tail up over here. It's gone at the moment, but I've seen it twice now. And of course, it's starting to rain. All right, it's really coming down now. I'm gonna take a break, batten down the hatches.
2 hours later.
All right, I spent a couple hours playing Dodge Storm, which really kind of sucks because I was up against the clock as it was. Didn't have a whole lot of time to fish. And now I really don't have a whole lot of time to fish. Sunset today is at 7:08. One of the things I looked up when I was waiting for the storm to pass. And right now it is 5:41. So not much longer to fish at all. Hopefully I can run across at least a little bit of action. As you can tell, post-storm, it's dead slick, absolutely gorgeous weather. That storm definitely had an impact on the water, however. It's okay, it's not terrible, but it's got a little murk to it. I'm sticking with this Echo 1.75. Hopefully, can run across some more trout, maybe even some redfish. Tide's falling super hard now. You can see it eddying up here off this point. Really should be a great ambush spot. I initially thought that was bait, but it's actually just water eddying. Oh, we missed it. Oh, there he is. There he is. He came back and got it. Big redfish. Big redfish. He hit it, missed it, and then came back and got it again. Nice red. Oh, he's barely hooked. Hooked on side of mouth. I don't think he's quite as big as I thought he was just because of how he's hooked. He feels bigger than he actually is. Hopefully we land him. He was at that Trenas mouth where he should be on a falling tide. Redfish love the Echo 1.75. They just love it. Look at, he's hooked right inside the face. Right inside the face. Yep, but no, he's got 2 hooks. He's got one in the mouth, one in the gill. All right, we got him. There we go. All right, perfect eating size red on an Echo 1.75. Yeah, you see he had 1 hook in the gill and then 1 in the mouth. Let's get the pliers. Make this a lot easier. Just now, there's a fish. Look at the wake. The fish is running there. These fish may be all over after that storm. Pretty red, beautiful fish. About 19, 20 inches or so. If you've never fished reds with a crankbait, cannot recommend this Echo 1.75 highly enough. Redfish love it, and it's just so much fun. They absolutely tag it when they hit it, kind of rip the rod out of your hands. I don't know if you can see, there's a little Trinos mouth right there. That's where he was. I doubt there are any more there, but got a cast there just to be sure. That bait hit the water, he tagged it, missed it, and then came back and got it again. Didn't want it to get away. That's where you'd expect those fish to be on this hard falling tide at those Trinos mouths. And for those of you from out of town, a Trinos is a marsh ditch. It's a drain coming out of the marsh. They come in various sizes, and not all of them produce fish. On a falling tide, you gotta hit all of them, because a fish could be at any one of them. And sometimes you can sit in one spot and catch several. Very common, in fact. Usually when you hook a red though, he'll pull his buddies out. More effective if you've got more fishermen on the boat who can cast there and catch those excited fish. But if it's just you fishing solo, usually by the time you get the fish in the boat, the rest of them are gone. And I do fish this Echo 1.75 real similarly to how I fished that SP57. Lots of twitches. I don't just crank it. Probably could just crank it. This bait's got a ton of action on its own, but I just feel like those pauses are what inspire those fish to feed. You pause it, and when you twitch it again, he thinks it's getting away, and that's when he hits it. All right, there's something that's probably a red. Let's see. Oh yeah, I see him. It's 2 of them. They both turned around. Where'd they go? They didn't spook, they just kind of turned. There's 2 reds. Ooh! Ooh! Did he smoke it? Come on, dude. You can't go back in that marsh. He ripped the rod out of my hands. That's gotta be a big... Oh! Oh, he spit it. He spit it. He spit it. Shoot. That fish clobbered that bait. I'm telling you, he smoked it. Well, I gotta do the fun part. Oh, there's another one. There's another one. Oh, stay out the grass. Just stay out the grass. You're gonna run me in the grass, aren't you? Oh, look at that. Look at that beautiful redfish. Yeah, dude, I'll give you all the line you want. I will give you all the line you want, buddy. As crazy as it sounds, that may be the same fish that hit it and spit it, or pulled the hooks, really. Because after the bait came out of his mouth, he was still chasing it. That's how fired up this fish was. Gorgeous. Just absolutely gorgeous. It does not get any better. Love it, love it. All right, little dude, or big dude, about a 23, 24 inch fish. All right, we got him. Oh, you got him. There he is, long skinny fish. Yeah, long skinny fish. Let's get the pliers. No chance getting that crankbait out without these pliers. Kind of good that he took it so deep. Not a lot of hooks in the net, that's good. So he's gonna be completely fine. We're gonna tag him and let him go. All right, big, beautiful red. There he goes. Just so awesome. I so much love these fish. Cannot get enough of this. I wish you could feel how hard the fish hit this bait. It's incredible. Oh, I loosened my drag a lot, better tighten it. I'm fishing all this on an Akuma EVX carbon. a medium power rod. Just don't like fishing crankbaits on medium heavy at all, even for redfish. Although you can get away with it a little bit more with redfish than you can with bass. And I got 30-pound braid and a 20-pound soft steel fluorocarbon leader. And my reel, of course, is an Akuma Hakai. I'm pretty sure that's all I've fished now, casting reel-wise. Just like them so much. Whew, it's getting late, it's getting late. I got probably 30 more minutes to fish. I'm probably gonna have to turn around and start fishing my way out of this place. It's real shallow in here and real stumpy, so you cannot run on plane. Gotta idle out. So smart man would probably start fishing his way out. And I should probably switch to that spinner, although I really don't want to, because I can fish that a whole lot faster. Really don't want to at all. Love fishing this crankbait. Definitely ups the fun factor. And man, it's just so nice to run across some reds. Although I tell you what's interesting is I haven't run across any small reds. Could be because of the bait I'm throwing, although I've definitely caught small reds on this. Or it could be just because there's none in this area, I don't know. My last trip I caught a bunch of them. But what I'll probably do is fish that spinner on the way out just to see if I run across any small reds. May not be any around here. This is really my favorite time in the marsh. I love last hour or so of the day, just love it. Now, I mean, the bad thing is you're racing the clock, so you always feel like you gotta fish kind of fast so you don't get stuck in the pitch darkness. But it's so awesome out here this time of night. Oh, there's a red. Goodness, look at that. Look at that. Where'd you go, dude? Never even saw that fish, just saw the wake. All right, I'm turning around, making my way back down the lake. Fishing already fished water. Generally is not my preference, obviously, but it's kind of the only option I have right now. Smart man would probably throw that blade, and I may switch eventually, but just don't want to. Too much fun catching them on this, and I really think this is more productive. The only negative is I fish it slower. It takes me more time to cover water. Oh, there he is. There he is. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. I had a nickel for every time I heard that. I wouldn't even have a nickel. Oh. Oh, dude. You gonna pull a hook like your buddy or what? I tell you what, this fish doesn't seem that big. Man, is he fired up. Stopped the crankbait on a dime. Clearly wanted it. Now he's got the bait outside of his mouth. Not exactly net friendly. This would be a good time for you to get off, buddy. This would be a good time for you to set yourself free. Nope, you're not gonna do it. Okay, I'll net you. No problem, not that big a deal. Back this way. Oh no, you don't like this net. I get it, I get it. You won't be in here long. All right, beautiful red. Let's get our friendly pliers. Now, he was hooked better than I thought he was. Another 21, 22-inch red. Beautiful fish. All right, you got a little hole in your gill plate, but you should be fine with that. Come on, kick. No, not letting you go till you kick. There you go. All right, I really gotta call it. That sun's about to set. And I got quite a long run to get back to Hopedale Marina. Not to mention a long putt-putt to get out of this lake. But man, so awesome throwing that Echo 1.75. Forgot how much I love that bait, and I love it because the fish love it, both redfish and speckled trout. I won't let as many months go between now and the next time I fish it as I did between now and the last time I fished it. All right, well, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the Marshman Masson channel on YouTube. You can do that by clicking that button right there. If you wouldn't mind, share the video with somebody you think would also like it. And until next time, if we don't see you in the marsh, we'll see you right here on Marshman Masson.